If India was to survive attempts at colonization, its best hope of doing so would be to imitate China. China did experience strong influence by European powers and at times had to submit to them, but China was not controlled by European powers at all except for small portions of territory. The Chinese didn't like this, but they avoided being fully incorporated into a foreign empire. While the Maratha Empire was the main power in India at the time the British first really started taking over, it was the Mughals who dominated India for much of the time leading up to that. So, if the Mughals were able to rule over at least northern India with the same level of control as Chinese dynasties had over their territory, they could have resisted British attacks. The main issue for the Mughals was religious division. While the Mughals tolerated religious pluralism, there would have been resistance to an officially Muslim state ruling a non-Muslim land. As said, it's not realistic to imagine resisting colonization entirely, so if the Mughals had simply tried to have a mutually profitable relationship with the British, they may have found that increased prosperity brought to the Indian people would be enough to maintain this control. Also, if the southern tip of India was controlled by adversaries of Britain, like France, then the Mughals could have expanded their territory while ingratiating themselves to the British by invading southwards. The state of Turkey famously maintained its independence in the 1920s by embracing secularism, European values, and nationalism. Since the Mughals under great rulers like Akbar were famed for their religious tolerance, it isn't hard to imagine a leader like Akbar functioning as an early version of Atatürk. He would commit to communicating the existence of a shared Indian identity, not divided by religion, and geared towards embracing aspects of European civilization while also maintaining traditional Indian culture. Such a leader would of course dramatically change the course of Indian society for the next 2 centuries. Check the comments if you're interested in part 2 of this alternative history series.